Anansi and the Sky God presented to you by yours truly, G-Bolo.
Once upon a time, there were no stories in the world. Anansi the spider once went to Numoney the sky god in order to buy the stories of the sky god. The sky god said, "What makes you think you can buy them?" The spider replied, "I know I can." The sky god said, "Great and powerful cities, kings and queens came, and they could not buy them. And yet, you who are only a spider, and you think you can? Ha 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 ha." The spider said, "What is the price of stories?" The sky god said, "They can only be purchased for Onini the python, Osebo the leopard, Moadia the fairy, and Moboro the hornet." The spider said, "I'll bring them all." The sky god said, "Go and bring them then." Anansi set out to capture them. First, he went to where Python lived and debated aloud whether Python was really longer than the palm branch or not, as his wife Aso says. Python overheard, and when Anansi explained the debate, agreed to lie down along the palm branch. Because it cannot easily make itself completely straight, a true impression of its actual length is difficult to obtain, so Python agreed to be tied to the branch. When he was fully bound, Anansi took him to the sky god. To catch the leopard, Anansi dug a deep hole in the ground. When the leopard fell into the hole, Anansi offered to help him with his webs. After the leopard emerged from the hole, it was bound in Anansi's webs and carried away. To catch the hornets, Anansi filled a calabash with water and poured some on a banana leaf he held above his head and on the nest, shouting that it was raining. He suggested the hornets enter the empty gourd, and when they agreed, he quickly sealed the opening. Finally, Anansi had to trap Momoatia, the mischievous fairy, whose magic was even greater than his. But he knew how to outwit her. Anansi crafted a beautiful little doll, just the same size as the fairy, and covered it all over with sticky sap. In the doll's lap, he placed a dish made from delicious mashed yams. It did not take long for the fairy to appear, lured by the smell of the dish. "Ooh, little girl."
May I have some of those yams?
The greedy fairy asked. The doll did not reply, so the fairy grew angry and slapped it on the cheek. The fairy's hand immediately stuck to the sap on the doll's cheek. "Let go!" the fairy shrieked. Then the fairy slapped the doll with her other hand, which also stuck. She kicked and clawed and bit at the doll until she was completely trapped by the sap. Anansi walked up, laughing. "Four down!" Anansi returned to the sky god with his captives, the trapped hornets, the tied-up python, the webbed leopard, and the sticky fairy. The sky god was not pleased, for he knew he must give up his beloved stories. But a bargain is a bargain. Very well, take these stories to the earth. Give them to humans. They will be eternally grateful to you. In fact, they will call all great tales spider stories from this day forward because of you. Anansi bowed low to the ground and said, "Thank you, my lord. I can think of no greater gift than that." It all came true, just as the sky god had said. To this day, it is hard to experience the joy of a story without thinking of Anansi and the great gift he gave all humankind.